So here we are then, Oulton Park. The weather has improved greatly since we were away and stopped raining. Thankfully, the sun has come out as the riders continue to circulate. Number 17 there, of course, one of the teams that we're following quite closely in the series today. Blue Jets Racing, and they're not having a bad day today, to say the least. And as the rest come through, that's the number 2 bike there of Sweatshop Racing. They're going extremely well at the moment, these boys, Mike Godfrey and Mike Dickinson in that team. And we've seen Mike obviously previously in some of the other races. And the 102 bike, they're just going through our picture, keeping his wheels down, which is where we want to keep them, on the tarmac and not anywhere else. There's the number 7 bike of Tank Racing. That's Chris Mason, and we got some hot news with James down in the paddock, I think.
High drama here at the moment. The number 120 M&M racing team, of course, they're leading the National 600s champions. Robbie Moore high-siding out on track at the moment. He's done some quite high levels of damage to his machine. Colin down there of the FlexNet team actually helping them out at the moment, but we don't know whether or not Robbie's going to actually be able to get back out on track in order to secure their championship this weekend.
Oh, it's time for the old duct tape to be brought out the toolbox. Great stuff, that is, isn't it? He can mend just about anything. Robbie apparently has got a bit of an injured wrist, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. James, what's going on?
Well, it looks like the Redmond Raptors, number 4, doing another changeover. And so we are well into the 2-hour session here. Blue Jets Racing out there, and still a little bit of rain beginning to fall once more. Carl Hodgkins, well, I think he's well used to the conditions now. So, resident Yam Yam here at Hottrax Motorsport, putting a power out on his Fireblade. Well, the rainbow's starting to come out, which means there is sun coming across the track. That will differ conditions. Oh, looks like the number 55 machine has decided to take a bit of a punt off track somewhere, so not the greatest running there for the Spark Endurance team. Of course, that's Shelley Pike and Robert Knowles. Initiate JR Racing, that looks like they've gone down. I think that's Shell Oils. Well, this is interesting. That's Ben Jenkins out there on the Banzai Racing machine. He's out there a little bit early, so I think a mishap may have occurred. Kenny knows more in the pits.
Do you know exactly what happened? Can you explain what happened?
Not really. The front disappeared. I'm guessing there was water on the circuit. Touched the front brakes and down it went. There's nothing you can do about it, really.
And the bike's now parked over the other side of the tyres?
Unfortunately, yeah, I can't get to see it, I can't get the camera off it, I can't do anything. But I was able to run back with the transponder, as you're supposed to do in endurance racing, and my teammate's out now, so...
He's going to have to finish the whole day then?
You've got to get 75% of the lap, so he's going to try and do as many as he can and see what we get.
Well, let's just clarify that rule. If you do fall off and restart, you need to complete 75% of the overall leader's laps in order to not be classed as a DNF. Well, there is number 75. That is a returning Bill Lilly on the BLDS Couriers machines. So it's good to have Bill back in the paddock, not been with us for the past 2 rounds. As we also see the 101 machine of Ridgeback Racing. But out on track, it looks like there is the battle between 2nd and 3rd in the Junior Thousands. Banzai Racing versus the Blue Jets. And, well, Kenny caught up with the Blue Jets in the pits.
P3 at the moment, started 28th on the grid. P3 not bad, chasing down, we should be P2 soon. So it's my birthday, we need a bit of luck and I'm going for a beer.
The thing is, you've lost one of your competitors for the race in the championship. They've crashed out, so that gives you a little bit more of an edge, doesn't it?
Yeah, Banzai was 2nd in the championship, we were 3rd, 5 points off him. So if we can finish now, we'll leapfrog them. We're just chasing down Redmond now, so we'll see how we get them. And then we've got Boys Division, which is tough, but they'll be honest in the championship, so not too worried about that. My man Flinty's birthday as well, so looking good for today, I hope, if we can stop the board.
Could go to Snetterton then?
Could go right to the wire, right to the wire. Don't mind Snet, love it, love it.
Well, we certainly hope it does go to the wire, as we see the Roundall Racing boys, Simon Allen and Alan Waring of the Armed Forces Careers Office at Wrexham. These boys doing their changeover. And away goes Simon Allen, a little bit tentative. There are our current leaders, however. Number 2, Sweatshop Racing, down there heading into Hizzy Chicane. So it's actually Mike Dickinson on the bike at the moment. And of course, Hugh Brasher not here this weekend. As we also see the number 7 Tank Racing machine, and that is James McBride. Of course, 2010 privateer champion at the Isle of Man TT. But 1 hour remaining, and well, all being well, we should be able to bring you some of the standings. So, after 2 hours, it is Messrs Dickinson and Godfrey of Sweatshop Racing in the top spot. Brand Brothers in second, Tank Racing in third, and well, jumping up to fourth, Pit Stop Racing.
So here we go, we're into the final hour, and the number 2 Sweatshop team currently leading. Stand-in rider Mike Dickinson, you might know him from our Michelin Power Cup. Currently, well, he's just about ready to go out on track. Replacement for Hugh Brasher this weekend. Well, not a bad weekend. Potentially championship winning here, isn't it, Mike?
I think it's potential championship winning for the endurance. I wrapped up the Michelin Power Cup earlier today, so that was okay. But my first stint in the rain out there was probably the hardest rain I've ever had to ride in before. It really was tough conditions, and a lot of wheel spinning down the straights and aquaplaning, and thankfully the safety car came out and gave us a few laps to let it dry off. But I think we're doing well now, we're doing okay. Just got to keep our heads and get to the finish.
How does the 10R feel?
Yeah, it's a little bit too much power for those conditions, but I'm looking forward to getting on it again and giving it another go.
Well, Mike Dickinson there, understating conditions, I would say, both in terms of his championship win and that ZX-10R that you can see at the moment. Well, Mick Godfrey having a good run on the machine, nice and smooth as always. As we begin to see some of the refuelling stops, that's Ducks Cross Racing, that is meant to be a 22 on there. Luckily the transponder will pick that up as it goes across the timing line. Well, Kenny's down there in the pits as we see the number 400 Redmond Racing of Pete Douglas and Derek Redmond take their changeover, and I think he's caught up with the Blue Jets once again.
Ash, you're having a pretty eventful day today.
It's been an experience today in that wet. Yeah, and off this morning. First lap out in the the qualifying session, so we started from the back of the grid. It's just been absolutely. We just come through. The first session was just water everywhere, aquaplaning. That session was a lot better. Bike felt a lot better, a lot more solid, and just give it a bit too much coming out of shell oils, and back end come round, and luckily it was slow speed slides, so it weren't so bad.
Well, one of your competitors had a bit of a problem with one of their riders. He's crashed out, and he's now running on his own Banzai. Yeah. So that gives you an even better crack at the title.
Well, that's it. I mean, we were just coming up to the back of Redmond Raptor, who's who's leading the championship. I was gaining on him by a good 4 or 5 seconds a lap, and I just got a bit giddy. It's.
Well, at the moment, if neither Blue Jets or Banzai are able to finish this race or get the 75% rule, it will mean that the junior thousands will go the way of the Derek Redmond Raptor 4 team. We can see at the moment dip down into Hizzy's chicane. So, well, I think hearts are going to be fluttering in the pits at the moment for all of these teams. Certainly that or certain other elements are going to be twitching, to say the least. There are the number 5 machine. It's the Brand Brothers Racing. Of course, they are 600 champions already. We don't need to focus on them too much. We just look forward to seeing them back next year. Well, Sweatshop come into the pits to do their changeover, and it would appear that they are also going to do a spot of refueling as well. Of course, that machine now having a new paint job by the looks of it. Mike Dickinson takes over and heads off down pit lane and onto track. Blue Jets appear to be doing their final changeover, and Ash Rothwell now has his machine fixed, and he'll be able to head out onto track. A bit of guidance there from Carl Hodgkins as the transponder gets changed over. Kenny's with Banzai Racing down in the pits.
You've been given a very large task.
Yeah, just a bit. Teammate's gone down in his second session, unfortunately. So now the only thing I can do is to try and get 70% of the winners' laps. So still plugging away, trying to do it. as quick as I can.
But you have to come in for a 30-minute gap.
20 minutes rest now. So, and I have to take the checkered flag. So, just looking at the clock down there, and I think 10 minutes I'll be out again for the last 30 minutes and take the checkered flag.
Well, Ben been handing a bit of a raw deal there by his teammate, but well, we hope these guys can do it. Raptor 4s do their changeover, and away they go to start their final stint. Oh no, that looks like Peter Brand's had a bit of a tumble. His is. The number 5 machine lying in the middle of the track. He's got to be very careful now. As long as he can run, he should be able to get back to the pits to get a changeover, and well, I think that won't cause him too much of an issue. However, leading overall and in our national thousands is Sweatshop Racing. Track beginning to dry out. And well, I think the win in the junior thousands though is going to go the way of birthday boy Flinty. Keith Flint on the Visor Vision Team Traction Control going to take their maiden win here in the SorryMates.com junior thousands. Well, if I'm thinking correctly, that is Pit Stop Racing in the national 600s. With M&M Racing bowing out of this one. Win will go the way of 1491 Endurance in second place. Here comes the checkered flag, and it is Sweatshop Racing that takes that. So let's have a look at our overall results. It's Sweatshop Racing from Upright Racing, and in third place Tank Racing, Mason and McBride having a good run. In the national 600s, Pit Stop to get the top spot, 1491 in second, with Roundall Racing there in third. Junior 600s, well, it's the Brand Brothers still able to take the win, with Initiatech JR in second and SorryMate.com in their third spot. National thousands, Sweatshop Racing take the overall win, Upright second and Tank in third. Junior thousands, well, it's Visor Vision Traction Control, Redmond Raptor 4 in second and Blue Jets in that third. So, there's your national 600s. Junior 600s, again Brand Brothers on the top spot. National thousands, Sweatshop Racing, Mike Dickinson looking happy as ever. And a maiden win there. Ben Neves and also Flinty. So in our standings, M&M Racing are still there, but this one's going to go to the wire with Pit Stop in second and 1491 Endurance in third. In the Junior 600s, well, Brand Brothers already got the championship with Initiatech JR in second and SorryMate.com in third. In our National Thousands, Sweatshop Racing already got the championship, Tank Racing second, BLDS in third. Well, our Junior Thousands, Redmond Raptor 4, 149 points, Blue Jacks in second and Banzai in third, which means it's still all to play for. We shall be at Snetterton on the 29th and 30th of October. From a wet Oulton, we'll see you there.